Alright, so before coming to Sapa, of course, when we took the sleeper train from Hanoi to Lao Chai, we will be at Lao Chai station first, and we booked a private car up to Sapa, and the drive alone would take about 30 to 40 minutes before we reach the city center of Sapa, but we booked an Airbnb that is just about a 5 to 10 minute drive away from the town. So we get some peace, nature, and a really nice view from the Airbnb place. So hello, today I'm at Sapa and I'm just gonna show you the scenery over here. Look at it. Today is a very clear sky, so it's pretty nice. Yeah, but generally the past few days it has been very foggy, so it's a lot of mist, but today is very clear. I'm just gonna show you the outside of my Airbnb, and right, so here's the entrance of my Airbnb. There are 3 rooms, technically 2 rooms. The top part is an entire area, and this is the outside area. There's like a bonfire pit and like a shack area, and right in front there there's a swimming pool, and you get a nice view of the mountainous range. And this is the entire area tour with a swimming pool, but it's winter, so pool is of a decent size if you come in the summer to relax. Small pool area. So when we arrived to Sapa, we went of course to the Sapa Market and we ate pho there. And you get to see some of the local markets there that they sell like a lot of like peanuts, a lot of like mushrooms, dried peanuts of course, and many other like dried foods. If you are very interested in making soup, I think that's a very good place to buy. Maybe you can try to bargain and get it a little bit cheaper. So we went to the Stone Church, and over at the Stone Church is also a very big area called the Sapa Square. It's like a half like open auditorium concept, and over at the other end of the Sapa Square from the Stone Church is the Plaza Sapa, which is sort of like a mall or the place where you board the trains first to get to the place to board the cable car to go to Fansipan. And I would say that Plaza Sapa is not really a place to shop. There's just not a lot of shops there, and it's quite a dead mall. For shopping wise, I would recommend like night markets or the markets at Sapa if you want to buy some goodies. Yeah, so we went to the Stone Church as a rendezvous point to our village tours that we are going to have, where we will visit different tribal villages in Vietnam or different village in Vietnam with different tribes. And it's just a very eye-opening experience. You get to go into some of the houses, the village houses, to see what they do to survive or what is the culture of the village. And yes, with the village tour, it also comes with a herbal food bath and also going over to a cafe to just relax and enjoy the scenery, the mountainous range. What was very good at this cafe called the Sapana Cafe and Bistro, which we stopped over during the village tour, was how great the drinks were. And I took a hot chocolate, and the hot chocolate was really flavorful. It's not heavy, the chocolate is just right amount. It is not too milky, and the marshmallows itself was quite a pleasant one. I wouldn't say it's a very very sweet marshmallow, because sometimes marshmallows can be really sweet, and they provide a little bit of creaminess to the chocolate, which I appreciated. So that was the end of the village tour, and we went to just a short break to a Vietnamese street store to try some Vietnamese fried rice. Vietnamese fried rice has a very interesting taste. There's a lot of like these crunchy onion bits. They do add some kind of vegetables to enhance the flavor, but I think, for example, like mint, coriander is not my kind of vegetable, so obviously for some Vietnamese food I didn't enjoy it as much. But of course I have to eat everything and get the full experience. I think without those like coriander and mint I will enjoy it more, but because Vietnamese people really love mint and coriander, everything is being added. And if you don't really want to eat, for example like pho, you can just put it to the side, because when you leave some of the coriander inside the pho soup itself, the soup will have a coriander taste and just absorb the flavor of the coriander. And for the best day in Sapa was the day that we went to Fansipan through using the train, the cable car, going to the summit, the Fansipan summit, and the climb. And of course, if you are not able-bodied or strong, you can take a second train up to close to the peak of Fansipan, which you probably only have to take like 50 to 100 steps. That's not a lot. The cable car will basically bring you almost to the peak. For me, we decided to walk up the 900 steps all the way up to the summit, and it is quite tiring. You don't really know when it will end. There are like 3 different areas where you think that this will be the summit, because it's a whole long flight of stairs, and when you go up you can just see that there's a walkway, and right over at the end there's another big 5-6 flights of like 20 steps, and your morale just dropped. But if you want a hiking experience, get some workout up, then I recommend you getting the full experience to climb up 900 steps to Fansipan. But of course there's also a full hiking trail that you can perform, but that is way too difficult. So yeah, if you're able-bodied and you just want to get a couple of workouts, the 900 steps would be sufficient. I was just in time to see the flag raising ceremony on the Fansipan summit itself, being able to see the Vietnamese flag being raised. And yeah, just a great achievement for me to have climbed the highest peak in Indochina, which is highest peak in Laos, Cambodia and Vietnam. So of course you can also choose to take the train up to the summit and walk down, or you can also walk up and take the train down. You don't have to climb up 900 steps and also probably like go down 900 steps again. You can always buy the train tickets if you feel tired to just go up the steps, but of course you can't bail out in the middle when you have already climbed for like 400 steps. You have to probably just finish up to the summit or just climb down to take the train. And it is very cold when in the winter, and about 2 degrees. It's freezing, so make sure to get some winter clothes in or some beanie. The wind is really strong, there's a whole gust of wind, and it is really very cold, so make sure to properly suit up for this occasion. And yes, this is the Sapa night market, a little bit different than the Hanoi night market, because the Sapa night market sells a lot more like dried mushrooms, peanuts, pistachios. Yeah, so if you like peanuts or dried food, I think the Sapa night market will be the better choice to go. And the next stop that we went was the Alpine Coaster. It is a whole lot of fun. I think it's priced quite decently, about maybe $8 for one round, or there's a package where you can buy 2 rides of the Alpine Coaster. The second one will be at a 50% discount. So I would recommend you going to the Alpine Coaster because I thought it was really fun. Don't press the brake and you get the full experience, the full blast of the G-force. And to me, it's not really like a roller coaster. Just make sure that you feel that you are like a driver driving down the Alpine Coaster, and it will be less scary if you think of it that way. We sort of went to like a Sapa rainbow slide, but not the actual one. We just went to another one that was closer to the Alpine Coaster, and it is still quite a bit of fun sliding down the slide, so no regrets for that. Once done, our day at Sapa would end, and we just got to take a train back to Hanoi. And of course, back in Hanoi, because we took a sleeper train, we reached Hanoi very early in the morning, about 6 a.m. So we got to find like a breakfast place that is still open, and we found one that is open, and I just got this noodle dish. And it's very interesting because this noodle dish is like a brown flat noodle, and the texture itself very different. It tastes really nice. I'll order it again, just that I got the fried fish, and the fish has little bones in it, which is not my favorite, so I didn't enjoy it as much because of the fish bones. But other than that, the shrimp was great, the noodles were great, the soup was great, so I think it was pretty decent. And that is the end of my trip. I really love the Airbnbs that I've stayed in Hanoi and in Sapa. So Hanoi, what I really like about Airbnb was that there's a lot of space, there's a lot of rooms, and there's a recreational room where you can play like pool and have like a bar. So that is pretty good. The only bad thing is that it is 5 stories high, so you have to carry your luggages up, and it can really be a pain. And this is it for my travel vlog in Vietnam. Hope you guys enjoy it and visit Hanoi or even Sapa, or hopefully some of what I've shown you have inspired you to travel there. And yeah, if you like my videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys again real soon for my next video.